Pennsylvania Associated Press Broadcasters Association Awards for Excellence, promoting and advancing the craft and microbrew culture in Northeast PA. This is another edition of the Friday Beer Buzz!
The Friday Beer Buzz, powered by Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar in Exeter. Sabatini's, the area's greatest selection of rare craft and imported beers. Growlers and crowlers and 37 rotating drafts. At Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar, Wyoming Avenue in Exeter. Lindo Sabatini with us. Good morning, Lindo.
Hi.
Hi. Excited for the sunny weather today?
Yes.
You think there'll be people outside at your establishment?
Absolutely.
Having a good time.
I gotta stop real
And
quick.
March Madness has to be big too. People want to party, have the picnic, have the, whatever, the pizza for.
Nancy, I think someone bet Lindo to use one-word answers.
Really?
He has done 3 responses. Yes, absolutely. Is this hard as you about to win $100 from who? Bill?
No, I just,
Just chill today.
I didn't have a lot to say, that's all.
But, when there's something like the NCAA thing going
It's big for you
on,
guys.
What's
I'm
that?
sure that St. Peter's,
Huh?
People they like to party.
Oh yeah, a lot of
Good
people,
time.
a lot of pizza to go, a lot of 6-packs going out the door, so
I
they can
bet.
go watch the ball go through the hoop thing.
Yeah.
So you're a sports fan is what you're saying.
Not so much.
I can tell. I just picked up on that a little
Except if
bit.
he's playing like soccer or something. All right, let's get to Bill from mybeerbuzz.com. Hi, Bill.
Hey, happy Froggy Friday.
Oh yeah, I would think it would have lifted by now, right?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's starting to. It's going to be nice though. Gorgeous.
It has not. I'm down here along the river in WB, and it's foggy as all heck.
Yeah, it was really bad this morning. So be careful. Take extra time.
Yeah.
What you got going on?
We have a beer buzz today, and this is a good question, and it's something that we've bounced off the edges of it a few times and on a few of our Christmas shows. But what is the difference between a lager and an ale? And both a lager and an ale, they are both beers. And I would say most of mainstream America, at least, and some other countries, are much more familiar with lagers, just because that's what most of the Miller, Bud Light, Coors, all those beers are typically lagers. And most of the craft beer aficionados are really into ales for the most part, but that's changing, parentheses, that's changing. And the difference really is how they are fermented. And it's the temperatures that they're fermented as well, and it's the type of yeast that they use. And so lagers are typically fermented at colder temperatures, and that gives them that sort of crisp, clean drinking quality. Ales are fermented at warmer temperatures, and that gives them more complexity and more interest in a beer. And now the lines are being blurred, and that's what I mentioned before in parentheses. There are cold IPAs, and there are all these kind of beers that bridge that gap between a lager and an ale. But in very general terms, it's cold fermented versus warm fermented, and top fermented versus bottom fermented. The cold fermented beers, the yeast tends to lay on the bottom of the beer. And again, that imparts sort of that crisp, clean aftertaste that you get in a lager. And where some people like the complexity, the chocolate stouts and the hoppy IPA, they are traditionally ales and they have more complexity. So I know it sounds probably maybe a little bit more simple than it really is, but that's the difference between an ale and a lager. I mean, it really is not a huge difference, but in the end, the taste difference is quite significant.
Well, there you go. I'm taking notes. Now I won't have to stand around any beer displays going, "What is the difference?" I do this frequently, and I always forget to ask you guys, but now it's clear.
My favorite is when they come in and they say, what kind of beers do you have that aren't ales or lagers? Because I really don't like either one.
Yeah, and that gets way more complicated because there are. I mean, you can go down through sours and some of these other beers, but in the end, they either ferment at the top or at the bottom, or they ferment at a cold temperature or warm temperature, and they are one or the other.
Right.
You can blur the lines too with these FMBs, these flavored malt beverages that we see, all kinds of seltzers and that sort of thing.
Yeah, but in my mind, that's not beer.
Yeah, that's not beer.
To me,
right?
that's not beer.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
It's soda with
and
booze in it.
Right.
I'm only going based on the technical government definition of it, and it's a malt-based beverage, and
Right.
that makes it, in their books at least, a beer.
But, they're making a lot of money. They're making a lot of money off of these things. But is this just a trend, like you had like Zima's back in the day? It comes in wine coolers. It's going to come and go.
Yeah, absolutely. So the trend is, if something sells a lot, everybody makes one. That's why you see seltzers everybody, everywhere. Everybody from Breaker Brewing to Miller Coors and Budweiser are making seltzers. And they make them because they sell. And it's a big market, and it's a market that's growing faster than their beer market. But if you came along and said, we're going to make alcoholic pudding, and it sells, you would see Budweiser alcoholic pudding, you'd see Breaker Brewing alcoholic pudding, you would see everybody doing it.
It's the almighty dollar, yeah, that's what it
The
is.
commercial is so gross. It's just so creamy. I'm so drunk. So oh.
Yeah.
All right.
And make note of that, because you watch down the road, someone will make an alcoholic pudding. But we do have a little bit of beer news today, and it comes to us from Bell's Brewing, and they are in Comstock, Michigan, and they're making a new beer called Kentucky Mule. And if you didn't guess by the name, that is a cocktail-inspired Kentucky bourbon barrel aged ale, and it has real ginger in it, and lime. And if that sounds familiar, that's because you're talking about a Moscow Mule. Now, I'm sure the trend now is to rename, just like White Russian, they've renamed to White Ukrainian. I have a feeling that someone's going to rename the Moscow Mule to something else to commemorate what Russia is doing. But that beer is 8.5% ABV, 12-ounce bottle. From our pals Dale Katechis at Oscar Blues, they have a new beer called Mutant X IPA, and it is part of their Hop Forward IPA series. It's going to be in 12-ounce cans, and it's 7% ABV, and I actually have that one on the way, so I'll be able to tell you a little bit more about that one when it arrives at BeerBuzz headquarters. We also have some news coming from Firestone Walker. They are partnering with Green Cheek, and they are doing a collaboration beer called Parrot Phrase, like the bird, and that will be a dry hopped grisette. And a grisette is an interesting beer style that we have not featured a lot on the show. It's akin to sort of a Belgian single. It's a light, easy drinking, almost saison-ish beer, and a lot of people make them. So that's going to be interesting to see how that translates between Green Cheek and Firestone Walker. And that beer is 4.5%. They very, very sessionable grisettes are. And then our final piece of beer news for the day is Stone is adding to their one batch dispatch series of beers, and the beer will be called Travelogue, and it is a tropical triple IPA brewed with Amarillo, Laurel, and Mosaic hops. That beer is 10.7% ABV, and it will be packaged in my favorite package, the 16-ounce can. That's our beer news for the day. If you'd like to see more details on these or any other stories, check out the Breaking Beer News tab at mybeerbuzz.com.
There you go.
All right, thank you.
Window's got a can with him today, and this
It's
is
very
very
festive looking.
colorful and it's very festive looking. Tell us about our beer today.
Lindo?
Yeah, it's good. I was trying to come up.
Worst interview you did.
I was trying to come up with a one-word answer, and I couldn't think of one.
Was it a long night for you last night, sir?
It's a hoppy.
It's
I can
hoppy.
smell it,
It's
yeah.
hoppy. It's hoppy. This is I don't know if we've ever done a triple IPA with Barsky on the show.
No, I would have vetoed it.
Yeah.
I'm not man enough for this beer.
What do you think? What do you think a triple IPA means?
I think your standard IPA, then there's some that double up, and this one goes 3 deep.
Now, what's that going to tell you?
That's going to be 3 times more IPA. Well, I did taste it. It's a little more bitter than usual. It doesn't have as many hops in it.
With the
You're very wrong.
I don't taste them as much.
Well, that's because the alcohol is confusing your tongue.
Oh no, they're there. You're right. It's very
Super.
Triple IPA means it's going to be strong.
So this is Goliath Brewing Company.
Toppling Goliath.
Oh, sorry, I
Yeah,
didn't see the first word.
Turn the can. Toppling
Boy.
Goliath Arcade Crusher Triple IPA.
All right, so if you like IPAs, this is in your wheelhouse. This is, I would say, a Webster beer, because he always loves the IPAs.
This beer has my 3 absolute favorite hops in it. It has Citra, Mosaic, and Simcoe. And that combination just makes for a wonderfully drinkable IPA, even though it's a triple. I mean, this is a 10% ABV And what it comes down to, Jason, is not 3 times the size of the can. It's not even 3 times the amount of hops. It's the amount of malt that they put into it when they're brewing the beer. So a regular IPA has a certain amount of hops. A double or an imperial IPA has double that or a lot more. And so a triple has a lot more malt in it. And the malt creates more sugar. And when you have more sugar, the yeast turns more sugar into more alcohol.
Yep.
And so you have a really nice combination coming from Toppling Goliath here. Arcade Crusher is one of my favorite beers of theirs, and it has been traditionally hard to find, but Lindo, is it getting easier to find?
We sell, we sell a decent amount of Toppling Goliath, so the ones that are harder to get like this one, we've been allocated automatically, so we just get them.
Right.
I mean, and what makes this beer a little different than a lot of other IPAs is when you get into a triple IPA. This one is a triple New England style IPA, and with the late addition of the hops, they put the hops into the secondary fermentation or late in the primary. It's going to give you a little bit more of you get more fruit and less bitterness. So with that being said, it's got a little bit of a sweet finish. So it makes
It was nice. I like this one a lot.
So it hides the hops a little bit where you're not getting that pungent bitterness in your face, and it's more of like that juicy.
So it's designed to confuse my taste buds a little bit.
Or people that say they don't like IPAs, this is one that they could have.
Right.
This is great.
Yeah, so he likes this. I'm not an IPA fan, but I like the can.
I know.
The can is pretty. Well, what's cool is you have it. So if people,
Yeah, we have it.
obviously, it's one of the most popular types of craft beer out there is the IPAs.
Well, over 40% craft beers are supposed to be IPAs, is what people say.
Yeah. So you've got it at Sabatini's.
Oh, yeah.
Toppling Goliath started in 2009 by Clark and Barbara Louie. They were active home brewers. It started in a town of Decorah, Iowa, that has a population of 7,700. In fact, the airport, you have to drive almost 2 hours to get to the airport. Very, very small town. But just in the 8 or 9 years that they've been around, they have now moved to a 52,000 square foot brewery and tap room on 15 acres, and they're brewing on a 100 barrel system.
Right.
And so a barrel is 31 gallons. So every batch is 100 barrels. They've become very, very big, very, very popular, known for their IPAs. They make 40 different beers, and they're in 30 different states.
That's why they're Goliath. It's Toppling Goliath Brewing Company. We got to run. Arcade Crusher is the beer. Bill, we'll talk to you later. Have a great day. It's so beautiful out there.
Sorry, I hit Bill's things back on. I did this before. So
darn it.
On behalf of Bill says bye.
The Friday Beer Buzz, powered by Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar in Exeter, where Lindo says hi.
Hi.
If you stop by. And if you want some pizza and some beer with this beautiful day and with the NCAA tournament, stop by. Sabatini's, the area's greatest selection of rare craft and imported beers. Growlers and Crowlers, 37 rotating drafts at Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar, Wyoming Avenue in Exeter. The Friday Beer Buzz, bringing good beers and good people together.